Many of you have probably already been to the zoo, but how many of you have been behind the scenes here at the zoo? Well, we are lucky enough to have been invited to where the lions are behind the scenes, and we're so excited, a little quiet because we are standing next to not just Caitlin Huff, the adventure guide, but this is
Chusolo.
Chusolo. Caitlin, thank you so much for having us back here.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us over here. It's super exciting to see you.
Well, we have this. I'm a little nervous because we're so close. We don't normally get this close. But this is great because this is something that people can actually do right here at the zoo.
Yes. So this is an example of one of our behind-the-scenes programs. This would be part of our main attraction encounter with our African lions. So right now what we're seeing with Chusolo is some examples of his daily training with his husbandry behaviors. Misha is asking him to come up here on his training bench, and that gives us an opportunity to get a really excellent look at his full body so that we can make sure that he is healthy and doing really well. So this is something that guests actually can come back and see for themselves. So if you're looking to do an extra special experience, maybe you have a big milestone coming up or shopping for the holidays for that person who already seems to have everything. They probably have not gotten to get back here and see Chusolo or some of our other members of our pride. So this is a really cool way to get to see them in a totally different environment.
This is amazing. It really is truly amazing. You have 4. Right?
Yes, so we have 4 lions. So Chusolo is our largest, but he's not the oldest. We actually have Kiki. She's 15, but she's about 200 pounds smaller.
Oh, okay.
But that's pretty standard for males versus females. You would expect to see a pretty big difference in size.
Okay, Chusolo is the male, and he has some likes and dislikes. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Absolutely. So some things that he really likes are a lot of his different enrichment items. So that's something that we can add into his space for him. So one of his favorites are those big rain barrels. He loves to roll those around, play with those. He also is obviously a big fan of his diet. That tends to be a favorite across everyone. I'd say probably a pretty big fan of boxes as well.
Yeah. And this is just crazy. How often does he get trained like this?
They will train with them at least once a day every day. Sometimes a couple of times, just depending on the day and everybody's schedule and how they're feeling.
What about safety precautions?
So, excellent question. He is a lion. We do want to make sure that we respect his size and his strength. That's why you can see with Misha and Kimberly here, they're staying on our side and he's on his side. We would never go in the same space as them. We want to make sure that we're respecting their area and are aware of how they're behaving.
I'm just watching her feed him. What is she feeding him right now?
So he's getting a ground meat. It's primarily horse, but it is all parts of the body. In the wild, they would be eating off of a carcass, so they might be getting different organs, really anything from that animal. So we want to replicate that as best as possible to make sure that they're getting the full nutritional needs.
And he does have a special diet, doesn't he?
So his diet, we did have to modify their diets a little bit after we did some allergy testing and discovered he was allergic to all cow products. So it wasn't a huge shift. We were already primarily feeding out that ground meat, but it meant mixing up a few of his more favorite things so that we could make sure he was feeling good.
It is so amazing how well taken care of the animals are here at Chaffee Zoo, and how honestly well behaved he is, because he has not roared one time. This is amazing. So once again, tell people how they can be a part of this all.
Absolutely. So we have an online booking system. So for guests who are thinking that looks really awesome, I'd like to see about that, you can check out the Fresno Chaffee Zoo website, and under the visit tab there'll be a little link for behind the scenes, and you can see this program as well as we have about a dozen different tour options. So there's a lot to pick from, and also gift certificates,
That's
which
a
is
great idea.
Excellent for coming up holidays.
Great idea. And coming up next week, we are going to get a closer look at the training. We're going to actually talk to Misha, and she's going to talk to us a little bit more about how they train them and what they do behind the scenes. So stick around for that. In the meantime, thank you so much, Caitlin. This is so exciting. I really recommend this for everybody. It's thrilling to be behind the scenes.